Hello guys, welcome to my channel. She'll never say it outright, not at first. She won't look you in the eye and say, I'm falling for you. She won't scream it from the rooftops. She won't write it across the sky. And she definitely won't admit it to herself, let alone to you. Because when a woman is developing feelings for a man, she doesn't come forward with a declaration. Beloved, she hides hints. She drops pieces of her emotion in the quiet corners of conversation, wrapped in casual words that seem meaningless to most men. But they're not meaningless. They're everything. And if you're not paying attention, if you're too distracted, too desperate, or too focused on trying to impress her, you'll miss it. You'll miss the chance to recognize what most men never will, that her heart is opening. Lowly, cautiously, but undeniably. This is the part no one teaches you. That a woman's affection isn't loud. It's quiet. It's not shown through grand gestures. It's revealed through the subtle way she starts to speak around. Her words change. Her tone softens. Suddenly she's telling you things she doesn't usually say. Suddenly she's saying you get her when no one else ever did. She remembers something you said 2 weeks ago and brings it up like it's been on her mind every night since. Laughs harder, pauses longer, opens wider, and all the while she's watching. Not just to see if you feel the same, but to see if you notice. Because here's the truth. When a woman starts falling for you emotionally, it doesn't happen all at once. It happens in fragments, moments stitched together through emotionally coded language. Little phrases that seem harmless on the surface, but beneath them there's vulnerability. Oh, maybe even fear. Fear that you won't feel it back. Fear that she's showing too much. Fear that you're not ready. And so she gives you 7 signals, 7 hidden phrases that reveal exactly where she stands. But only if you're the kind of man who knows how to listen, not with your ears, but with your awareness. So if you're the man who refuses to miss his moment, if you're tired of being left wondering where you stand with a woman, and if you're ready to finally understand what her words actually mean when her feelings are growing, then this video is going to change everything. Because once you hear these 7 phrases, you'll never misread her again, and you'll finally see the truth that's been sitting quietly in her words all along. Let me ask you something no one's ever asked you before. Not your friends, not your father, not the internet full of fake gurus trying to sell you confidence in a bottle. Have you ever really listened to a woman when she speaks? Not just the words, not just the tone, but what's underneath it. Because here's what 99% of men don't know. A woman's real feelings aren't revealed through obvious statements or dramatic gestures. They're hidden in the tiniest cracks of her sentences, in the spaces between what she says and what she actually means, in the phrases she slips in casually, phrases that sound innocent on the surface but carry emotional weight beneath. And if you're not trained to hear those signals, you'll walk right past a woman who is emotionally investing in you. You'll mistake her vulnerability for friendliness. Ignore the truth sitting quietly in her. And she'll pull away, not because she stopped caring, but because she realized you weren't aware enough to receive what she was trying to give. See, women are emotional communicators. They don't always say what they feel. They say what they hope you'll understand. And when they're developing real feelings, when their heart is slowly unfolding in your direction, they'll give you clues, not confessions. Lose the tragedy. Most men are so focused on saying the right things, but forget to listen for the right signals. They're so obsessed with trying to impress her, seduce her, or keep her attention that they miss the golden moment, the moment when she opens the door just enough to let him in emotionally. So what are these clues? What are these 7 powerful phrases that most men miss, but that secretly reveal she's developing feelings for? That's exactly what we're going to uncover in this video. Because here on Stoic Stream, we don't chase women. We understand them. We don't manipulate emotions. We master emotional intelligence. And we don't settle for surface-level attraction. We dive deep into the psychology of what makes a woman feel something real for a man. So, if you've ever wondered whether a woman likes you more than she's letting on, you've ever laid awake at night, replaying her words, trying to figure out what she meant when she said, "I don't know why, but I feel different around you." If you're tired of confusion, overthinking, and guessing games, then this video is going to hit you hard. Because once you learn these 7 phrases, you won't just hear women differently. You'll understand their emotions before they even admit them to themselves. So buckle in, because this isn't a list, it's a revelation. And once you know the truth, you can't unhear it. Phrase number 1. I don't usually say this to people. When a woman says this, she's not just making small she's building a bridge. It's her way of stepping out of her emotional armor and inviting you into a space that most never see. This phrase is the threshold between surface connection and emotional intimacy. It usually precedes a story, a confession, or a truth that exposes a piece of her real self. It is watching your reaction, not to be judged or praised, but to see if you're emotionally present. Most men brush these moments off, but the few who recognize the significance of it create a memory she won't forget. She feels safe opening up around you. She starts to associate your presence with emotional freedom, and freedom is addictive. When she offers you this phrase, she's not just sharing her thoughts, she's testing the depth of your character. Pass that test and she'll keep unlocking more. What makes this phrase even more powerful is its vulnerability. She's not obligated to share with you. She doesn't owe you an explanation. So when she opens up, she's expressing something sacred, emotional trust. She's giving you a rare view into her internal world, the heart of her that hides behind smiles and social filters most people never get. But she reserves that level of honesty for the few who prove themselves patient, grounded, and attentive. Often, what comes after this phrase is something fragile, a childhood memory, an emotional scar, a dream that's been buried under years of disappointment. She might say it with a half smile, trying to brush it off, or she might go quiet halfway through, waiting to see if you'll lean in or pull away. Your response in that moment, it determines whether the story continues or ends. Don't interrupt her. Don't joke to relieve the tension. Just hold space. Look her in the eye. Let silence be the container for her truth. Because when a woman says, "I don't usually say this to people," what she's really saying is, "I feel something around you that makes me brave." And that bravery is the seed of emotional attachment. When she feels safe expressing without being judged or fixed, she subconsciously associates you with emotional maturity. That's the man she can envision having deep conversations with at 2 a.m. That's the man who could meet her at her worst and love her anyway. Every time she shares something after this phrase, she's stacking layers of emotional intimacy. And the more you respond with presence and compassion, the more she sees you as someone who doesn't just hear her words. You understand her soul. In a world of filters, performance, and shallow connection, this phrase is a rebellion. It's her subconscious way of saying, "You're not like the others." And if you honor that moment, you won't just win for trust. You'll earn something most men never do. Her unguarded, unfiltered truth. Asterisk phrase number 2. Just understand me. Asterisk. When it says this, it's not about ego. It's not about impressing you or flirting. There's raw emotional recognition. It means that In a world full of misunderstanding, miscommunication and masks, she feels like you actually see her, and not just her smile or her style, but her silence, her sorrow, her sincerity. Understand the language behind her words, the emotions beneath her stories, the truth in her pauses. This phrase is often born from subtle moments. When you said something that echoed her inner world, when you reacted in a way that made her feel safe, when you mirrored her feelings without her having to explain. These moments are rare for women. Most people listen to respond, not to connect. But you did more. Attuned to her emotional wavelength. Once a woman feels understood by you, she begins to open. She begins to trust. She begins to feel, not because you solved her problems, but because you validated her emotions without diminishing them. This is emotional intimacy, and it runs deeper than physical attraction because understanding creates space. Space where she can show up unfiltered. Space where she doesn't have to justify or defend or shrink. She can simply be, and you'll meet her there. In that space, affection grows roots, and what begins as simple connection soon transforms into emotional bonding. She starts thinking about you during the quiet moments. Starts wondering why your voice feels like home. She starts realizing that your presence offers something she can't find anywhere else. So when she says, "You just understand me," don't dismiss it as a compliment. Hear it for what it is, a confession. One that says, "Make me feel seen in a way I didn't even know I needed." And that's everything. Phrase number 3, I was thinking about what you said. When it says this, she's showing you that your words matter. You've stayed in her thoughts, echoing long after the conversation ended. She didn't just hear you, she absorbed you. And when a woman brings up something you said in the past, especially without prompting, means your insight affected her emotionally. This phrase tells you she values your perspective, your mind, your presence. You sparked something in her, a reflection, a question, or even a and that means you've made an emotional impression deeper than attraction. You've made her think. Phrase number 4, I can just be myself around you. This phrase isn't about comfort alone. It's about freedom. It means she doesn't have to filter herself, perform, or be perfect. Around you, she can breathe. Her laughter is real. Her words unedited. Her silence unafraid. This is when a woman says this, she's telling you that her feminine energy feels safe in your masculine presence. That's not just attraction. That's deep, emotional trust. And once a woman feels that kind of freedom with you, she bonds, she connects, she falls. It's just phrase number 5, I told my best friend about you. Her best friend knows everything. So if she mentioned you, means you've made it past casual interest into something meaningful. She's thinking about where you fit in her life, and she's starting to imagine a place for you. This isn't a throwaway line. It's a signal that she sees you as emotionally important. You've made it into her inner world, and that's where real feelings begin. Asterisk phrase number 6. I miss talking to you. This isn't about missing company. It's about missing you, your energy, voice, the emotional space your presence creates. She's telling you that your absence leaves a silence she feels. Gave her emotional nourishment that most men don't even know how to offer. Now she craves it. That craving is how love starts. Asterisk phrase number 7. I don't know why, but I feel different around you. Asterisk. Phrase is pure, unfiltered truth. Her subconscious revealing itself. May not understand why, but something about you disarms her, awakens her, opens her. You shift her emotional chemistry. And when a woman feels different around you, calmer, happier, more alive, she doesn't forget it. The difference becomes desire. The emotional shift becomes the bond she didn't expect but can't ignore. So, you know when a woman says things like, I don't usually say this to people. Just understand me. Or even quietly says, I miss talking to you. She's not just making conversation. She's making it confession, a quiet, almost unnoticeable confession that her emotional walls are coming down and you are the reason. See, most men hear these phrases and think nothing of them. They move on. They change the topic. They respond with a joke or brush it off. And in doing so, they miss it. They miss the moment where real connection was trying to grow. Miss the invitation into her deeper world where her attraction isn't just physical but emotional, where her heart begins to attach, where desire transforms into bonding. And by the time they realize it, it's gone. But you're not like most men because you've stayed through this entire video. Paid attention. You've studied. Listened between the lines. And that means you're already ahead of 99% of guys out there. You're not just learning what to say to get her. You're learning how to feel, how to lead, how to see through her emotional veil. That's not manipulation. That's maturity. That's masculinity in its rarest, most powerful. From stoic, present, grounded, aware. And if that's the kind of man you're becoming, then this is your home. Backhand and Dax pointing right. Subscribe to Stoic Stream right now. Because here we don't teach tricks. Teach truth, truth about women, truth about desire, truth about yourself, psychology-backed, experience-driven and sharpened through the lens of Stoic wisdom. Bellhop bell? Hit the bell icon so YouTube doesn't hide this kind of content from you. Because you know they will. Thumbs up. Like this video if even one of these phrases reminded you of someone, a girl you knew, a woman who opened up and you didn't realize what it meant until now. Because sometimes that phrase you ignored was the phrase that could have changed everything. And now you know better because now you see the signs most men are blind to. Understand the emotional language most men will never hear. And if you keep walking this path, the path of presence, power, and psychological clarity, she won't just fall for you. She'll trust. And in the end, that's what women want more than anything. Not someone who's perfect, but someone who makes them feel safe to say what they usually never say to anyone.